So I actually played week one's game a week ago, but I am a major procrastinator, so I just started working on this video tonight. It is currently 4 a.m. I'm hoping this goes up tomorrow. And so this is going to be the team builder and the week one game. So I started off with Enamorous because it just was really well against my opponent's team, which I will put on the screen right now, and it will be up for the rest of the team builder. So it had Moonblast to hit super effective damage on Grimmsnarl and Baxcalibur and Greninja. It also could OHKO Stonejourner because Stonejourner has like no special defense. And it had Psychic for Paldean Tauros, and it had Earth Power for Magneton if it didn't Terra, and it had Grass Knot for Donphan. Moving on to its stats, it has just enough speed to outrun a non-Scarf Paldean Tauros, and it has just enough special attack to KO a max special defense or Assault Vest Baxcalibur, and it has enough defense to survive a Jolly max attack banded Ice Shard from Baxcalibur. The next one I chose was Glamora because it has amazing special attack, and it also could set up hazards, or my opponent would have to worry about me setting up hazards. And I wanted them to think that it had hazards, so I named it Hazardous. But then I ran a Choice Scarf set with Earth Power for Paldean Tauros and Galarian Slowbro, which I really thought was coming, and Energy Ball for Tropius if it Terra'd and Greninja, and Donphan, and I also gave it Power Gem for Baxcalibur. It was running Scarf, so the only way that Baxcalibur would outspeed it and OHKO it with Earthquake would be if it was Scarf 2, which would give me the information I needed to give me a free switch into my Enamorous. And I gave it Sludge Wave to deal as much damage to a target that didn't resist it. Moving on to our next mon, which is our Terra Captain, our Hisuian Electrode. I thought there was an item clause, so I actually gave it Life Orb instead of Specs. That would have been better for it. I went with Static here in case I got desperate and needed to paralyze Donphan when it went for Rapid Spin. I gave it just enough speed to outspeed a Greninja, which is their fastest mon, and kill it with a Thunderbolt with the special attack I had given it. Terra Fairy does well against Baxcalibur, and it would have killed if it wasn't completely special defense invested. I also gave it enough defense to survive one Ice Shard if it Terra'd into Fairy. Our next mon is Masquerain, which I brought because I was really scared of Scarf Baxcalibur running through my team. So I gave it the Focus Sash just to make sure it could get up Sticky Webs, because that would also force the Donphan to go for Rapid Spin. I gave it Quiver Dance in case I was given an opportunity to set up, and Hydro Pump in case the Donphan decided to go for Rapid Spin turn 1, in which case I could have 2-hit KO'd it with Hydro Pump if it wasn't Assault Vest. Our next mon is Expert Belt Gudra, which it has massive special defense, so no special attackers like Galarian Slowbro, Rabisca, or special Greninja would have gone through our team. I gave it Expert Belt to do as much damage as possible to Donphan with Ice Beam, or to Tropius with Power Whip or Ice Beam if it Terra'd. I gave it Draco Meteor just for a good damage dealing option, and I gave it max special attack because I wanted it to do as much damage as possible. Gudra was also our main Tropius switch-in because it had Sap Sipper to get rid of Leech Seed or a potential Giga Drain. Moving on to our only physical attacker, Barrascuda. It has a pretty normal choice band set. Aqua Jet did, I believe, 20% to a no defense investment Baxcalibur. I gave it enough speed to outrun Greninja, and it also was our only physical attacker because their team was especially weak to special moves. That concludes our team builder section, so now on to the battle. I start off with Masquerain, he starts off with Magneton, I was expecting Donphan. He Volt Switches, which brings me down to my stash, but I still get my Sticky Webs up. And I think he's going to go for Rapid Spin here, but he goes for Ice Shard. I would have Hydro Pumped him, which would have done a lot. I go into Goodra to try to do as much as I can. He is Assault Vested because of that. He Rapid Spins away my Sticky Webs, and then he goes into his Magneton. He Volt Switches out, but Goodra is incredibly bulky, and he goes into his Tropius. He Terras, which predicts my Ice Beam, and he Dragon Tails out my Goodra. He brings in my Hisuian Electrode, which would have killed it with an Energy Ball or a Electric move. So he then kills himself with Steel Beam, which is bad for stats because I lose a kill. Then he brings in his Paldean Tauros. It's not Scarf because I outsped it there, and I go into my Glamora to get the free kill. Because I'm Scarf, I should still outspeed it here. He lays a layer of Toxic Spikes with my ability Toxic Debris. I kill it even though it did outspeed me. He goes into his Greninja, and I outspeed it because I invested speed that way. He does get Battle Bond from killing my Glamora, but I go into Barraskewda, which will kill a lot of his Mons. Tropius, however, was not one of them. So I do have to switch out here because I'm banded. I switch into Goodra, expecting a Grass move, which I get correctly. So now I'm up 1 in attack, and I go for a Power Whip, which gets the KO on Greninja. Baxcalibur comes in and kills me, which is unfortunate, but there wasn't much I could do there. I go into Barraskewda knowing that it could live an Ice Shot if that wasn't banded, and click Close Combat because I know that that would almost kill the Baxcalibur. Donphan dies to poison there, and Tropius gets the kill on Barraskewda, which I should have saved because Ice Shard would have been taken by Barraskewda. I go into Hisuian Electrode and Terra just for the fun of it. I didn't need to Terra, but I did. I get the kill on Tropius, and I go into my Enamorus. I live the Ice Shard, which is actually a bigger play than you might think it is, because I didn't calc for an Adamant Baxcalibur. I calced for a Jolly Baxcalibur, so it was actually a 50-50 chance. And that Ice Shard also would have taken out my Hisuian Electrode, so I would have lost that game if it came down to a coin flip in the end. This was the closest game of the week, and I hope you enjoyed the video.